Vasudeva Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtake Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishankhan Vitamsya Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Haripriye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 15, Text 39. We heard yesterday how the Lord, the yogis always fixed in meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord. And then the same Lord is coming with those same lotus feet to protect his devotees. And the four Kumaras, they would always see the Lord before in their heart, but now they're able to see him face to face, personally see the Lord. So reading on, Krishna Prasad Sumukham Sprahanya Dhama Sneha Valoka Kalaya Hridi Samprashantam Shyame Prathav Urasi Shobhitya Shirya Swas Chodamanim Subhagayantam Ivatma Thishnyam. The Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction, and his affectionate smiling and glancing touch the core of the heart. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish, and his broad chest is the resting place of the goddess of fortune, who glorifies the entire spiritual world, the summit of all heavenly planets. Thus it appeared that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. So, the Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. If we want to have pleasure, we have to go to the reservoir of pleasure. For example, if we need water, we have to go to the reservoir of water, the lake, the river, where the water is there. If we want to have water, we go to that reservoir. Similarly, if we want pleasure, if we really want pleasure, the enjoyment, the happiness, the bliss, then we have to connect ourselves with the Lord, because he is the reservoir of all pleasure. It is in him that all pleasure is there. So of course, when we associate with him, by hearing about him, by chanting his names, by thinking of him, then we feel the pleasure. And that his auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction. So it's Krishna who, by merely being present before anyone, is making everything auspicious for everyone. We think it's, I'm the one who's making auspiciousness for everyone. But it's not me who's making everyone auspicious, it's Krishna. Krishna's presence is auspicious. And then what touches the core of the heart is affectionate smiling and glancing. When he affectionately smiles at the devotee and looks at them, then the devotee's heart melts. And that's what the loving reciprocation is between the Lord and the devotee. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish. So it's given such clear, detailed information is given about the Lord. His color is black, he smiles, he looks, that's why he has the glance. So he's a person, time and time again, his personality is stressed. So many beautiful descriptions are given of his beautiful body. So Krishna is a person. And then he has a chest, same. He has a chest, so we have a chest. And who's on his chest? Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi is on his chest. Then, and it's all opulence. It's everywhere. It's just opulence there in the spiritual world. So the Lord, it was appearing that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. So it's because of the Lord's presence. Because Krishna is present there, so it's all opulent. When Krishna was present on the earth here, this whole Vrindavan was so opulent. It was opulent every day. Usually there are 4 seasons: summer, winter, rainy, and summer, winter, and autumn. But when he was there, Vrindavan always seemed like spring, always. The flowers were always blooming. Everything was all auspicious, all opulent. So when the Lord came, he was pleased with everyone. Therefore, it is stated here, Krishna Prasad Samukham. The Lord knew that even the offensive doormen were his pure devotees, although by chance they committed an offense at the feet of other devotees. To commit an offense against a devotee is very dangerous in devotional service. Lord Caitanya therefore said that an offense to a devotee is just like a mad elephant run loose. When a mad elephant enters a garden, it tramples all the plants. Similarly, an offense unto the feet of a pure devotee murders one's position in devotional service. So this is the Hati Mata, the offense to the holy name. The first offense to the holy name is to blaspheme the devotee of the Lord who is engaged in spreading the glories of the holy name. And Krishna takes it personally. And Lord Chaitanya said that we should guard against it, not blaspheme the devotee. So this is offense to the pure devotee, murders one's position in devotional service. Okay, on the part of the Lord, there was no offended mood because he does not accept any offense created by his sincere devotee. But a devotee should be very cautious of committing offenses at the feet of another devotee. So we need to respect everyone, treat everyone with respect. The Lord, being equal to all and being especially inclined to his devotee, looked as mercifully at the offenders as at the offender. This attitude of the Lord was due to his unlimited quantity of transcendental qualities. So Krishna, he's smiling equally at both the 4 Kumaras and Jai Vijay. Both are his devotees. Both are his devotees. Both are equally dear to him. His cheerful attitude towards the devotees was so pleasing and heart-touching that his very smile was attractive for them. That attraction was glorious, not only for all the higher planets of this material world, but beyond, for the spiritual world also. Generally, a human being has no idea of what the constitutional position is in the higher material planets, which are far better constituted in regard to all paraphernalia. Yet, the Vaikuntha planet is so pleasing and so celestial that it is compared to the middle jewel or locket in a necklace of jewels. So we are not even able to understand what is the standard of living, as we say, in the heavenly planets, say where Lord Indra stays, Lord Chandra, Lord Surya. These are higher planets. They are much more opulent than what we have on Earth. You know, on Earth, our aeroplanes are made of iron, but we keep hearing in heavens they have these beautiful aeroplanes made of gold and jewels. And then, of course, in Vaikuntha, it's even more beautiful because it is Sachidananda, it's spiritual. It's spiritual. And the atmosphere in Vaikuntha is pleasing. There is no anxiety. There's no anxiety in the spiritual world. The anxiety is here in the material world. In this verse, the words Svrahaniya Dham indicate that the Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure because he has all the transcendental qualities. Although only some of these are aspired for by persons who hanker after the pleasure of merging in the impersonal Brahman, there are other aspirants who want to associate with the Lord personally as his servants. So there are a few people who want to get this pleasure of the Lord that the Lord is experienced by being on the Brahman platform, in the Brahma Jyoti, Om Shanti Shanti, in the divine light. Sure, there is pleasure. Of course, there is pleasure because it's beyond the material world. It's on the platform of Brahman. It's on the platform of Brahman. But that pleasure is very little as compared to the water which is in the hoof print of a calf. The calf is already so small. Then the hoof is so small. So the water there is so little. But we feel, oh, because the pleasure we are experiencing here in the material world is just like a drop of water in the desert. So the pleasure in the Brahman appears to be so great, right? Comparing a drop of water in a desert, that's barely nothing. And you see a tiny puddle with some water, you'll feel, oh, wow, this is so much water. But when we go to the spiritual world in the Vaikuntha planets, have personal association with the Lord, that happiness, that pleasure, that bliss is compared to a never-ending ocean of happiness and bliss. So that's the reason the devotees want to have this personal association with the Lord. They don't want to just stay in the Brahman. The Lord has such amazing qualities. He's such a wonderful person. He's so sweet. He's so attractive. He's so charming. The devotees want to be with Krishna. That's why they don't want to be in the Brahman. Why? Because in Brahman, Krishna is not there. He's not there. But devotees want to be with Krishna because Krishna has these amazing, amazing qualities. So the Lord is so kind that he gives shelter to everyone, both impersonalists and devotees. He gives shelter to the impersonalist in his impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas he gives shelter to the devotees in his personal abodes known as the Vaikuntha Lokas. So Krishna, he is impartial. He fulfills our desire. What do we want? We want to stay in the material world. He says, fine, you continue to stay in the material world. That's okay. Then he says, somebody wants to sit in the divine light, Brahma Jyoti, although it's very difficult to go there, not easy. It will take thousands and thousands of lifetimes to even reach there. Many people think that they're going to go there, but that's just thinking. It's not factually happening. So anyway, but if somebody is really qualified to go there, Krishna gives him. He says, sure, you want to be there? Be there. And someone who wants to have personal association with Krishna, someone who wants to go to Vaikuntha Lok, be with Krishna personally. He says, yes, come, please come. I'm waiting for you. Why? I was waiting for you. You took so long to come. Then he is especially inclined to his devotee. He touches the core of the heart of the devotee simply by smiling and glancing over him. You know, Krishna is personally smiling and glancing at the devotee, and the devotee is so happy. So it's a loving exchange between Krishna and the devotee. The Lord is always served in the Vaikuntha Loka by many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, as stated by the Brahma Samhita. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Seva Yamana. So Krishna, Brahma Samhita, what is Lord Brahma saying? That what Lord Brahma is saying, that there are many, many spiritual planets. There are many spiritual planets. And then over there in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna is personally there. He's there in all the spiritual planets in his expansions as Narayan. As Narayan, Krishna is there in each and every spiritual planet of the Vaikuntha Lok. But he personally, Krishna himself, is present in Krishna Lok, the highest planet of the spiritual world. And what is he? What's happening there? There are thousands of, hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Lakshmi Devi, here we are doing puja. Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Devi, please stay with me. Don't go, stay in my treasury, stay in my bank locker or wherever. Now we have all internet things. Stay in my internet account. But here, Lakshmi Devi, Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Who are these goddesses of fortune? The gopis. The gopis are the original goddess of fortune. In this material world, one is glorified if he is favored even a pinch by the goddess of fortune. So we can simply imagine how glorified is the kingdom of God in the spiritual world, where many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in the direct service of the Lord. So here we see there is so many rich people, so many opulent people.
Just one question. So the gopis are there in Vaikuntha also in the form of Lakshmi, and they are also there in the Golok Vrindavan.
Yes.
Right? That's what this is trying to say. Okay.
Yes, the original goddess of fortune is Radharani.
Okay.
Her expansions are the gopis.
Okay.
Because she loves Krishna so much, she wants to serve Krishna so much.
Okay.
She wants to also enjoy with Krishna so much, so she expands as the gopis. Okay. And they have loving relations. Then the same Radharani and the gopis, they expand as Lakshmi Devi in so many of the Vaikuntha planets. Okay. And Krishna expands as Narayan.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So another feature of this verse is that it openly declares where the Vaikuntha Lokas are situated. They are situated as the summit of all the heavenly planets, which are above the sun globe at the upper limit of the universe and are known as Satyalok or Brahmalok. The spiritual world is situated beyond the universe. Therefore, it is stated here that the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Lok, is the summit of all planetary systems. So where is the Vaikuntha Lok? It's beyond this material world. We see there are 14 planetary systems in this material universe, right? Only in one universe, our universe, we are seeing 14 planetary systems. Patal, Atal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Talatal. All these hellish planets are there. Then we come to the earthly planets, Bhulok, Bhuvars. Then we come to Swarglok. Then after we go beyond Swargalok, there's Mahar, Jana, Tapa. Then is Lord Brahma's planet. So all this is material world. All this is material world. Beyond this is the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Lok. So if we want to have perfect knowledge of the universes, of the spiritual world, we can get from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's giving us such detailed knowledge. Is there any comments or questions on this verse? Does it create a desire to go to the Vaikuntha Lok? Hearing about Vaikuntha?
Yes.
Very good. Hang on to that desire, because Krishna fulfills our desires. So very good. So, reading on. Pitam Shukhe Pritu Nitam Bini Vishfurantya Kanchya Libhid Virutaya Vanamalaya Cha Valgu Prakoshta Valaya Vinata Sutamse Vinyasta Hastam Itarena Dunanam Abjam. He was adorned with a girdle that shone brightly on the yellow cloth covering his large hips, and he wore a garland of fresh flowers, which was distinguished by humming bees. His lovely wrists were graced with bracelets, and he rested one of his hands on the shoulder of Garuda, his carrier, and twirled a lotus with another hand. Amazing. Brahmaji is giving such detailed description of the Lord. You know how here we have some famous person, maybe a famous film star or something, then the reporters will report, oh, he or she was wearing this clothes designed by this one, and then this ornaments designed by this one. You know, I don't know if you all have read that or heard that. And so here, Brahmaji is covering the description of Lord Narayan. And he's showing again proof that he's a person. He's wearing clothes. He has a hips. He is wearing garlands, girdle that shone brightly on the yellow cloth covering his large hips. And then he wore garland of fresh flowers, which was distinguished by humming bees. In the spiritual world, the flowers are ever fresh. They never become stale. Nothing dies in the spiritual world. You know, everything is eternal. So he's wearing a garland of fresh flowers, and the bees are going crazy with the fragrance of the flowers. So they're going around the garland. So then I heard one time Guru Maharaj was speaking about like fresh flowers in the spiritual world. He was like, can't imagine what they do with so many flowers. There would be so many flowers, you know, because here, okay, we have so many flowers, but then after a few days, they're not fresh. We just dispose of them. Then what do you do for millions and millions of flowers? You have to go there and see it. His lovely wrists were graced with bracelets. So he has lovely wrists and he wears bracelets. And he rested one of his hands on the shoulder of Garud, his carrier, and twirled a lotus with another hand. So Lord Narayan, Garuda is always with him. So Garuda was here and he's putting his hand on Garuda's shoulder. And in another hand, he's twirling a lotus. You know, he has a lotus. So here's a full description of the personality of Godhead as personally experienced by the sages. The Lord's personal body was covered with yellow robes and his waist was thin. In Vaikuntha, whenever there is a flower garland on the chest of the personality of Godhead or any one of his associates, it is described that the humming bees are there. All these features were very beautiful and attractive for the devotees. One of the Lord's hands rested on his carrier Garud, and in another hand, he twirled a lotus flower. These are personal characteristics of the personality of Godhead, Narayan. So, Lord Narayan, here we are hearing about him, how he looks, and how the devotees are so happy to see him. So happy to see him. Here in the material world, we say, why Krishna, why Narayan has to do the lotus twirling in his hand and standing like a hero with the Garud, shoulder on Garuda. I should be doing that and people should be happy to look at me. Well, because we think like that, we are still here in the material world. So if we really want to be with the Lord, we have to change that he's the center. Vidyut Shipan Makara Kundala Mandanarha Gandasthan Lonasam Mukkam Kiritam Dordanda San Shanda Vivare Harata Paradya Harena Kandara Gatena Chakaustubena. I'm literally murdering these beautiful verses of Bhagavatam. You know, some devotees can recite them so beautifully in so many different meters, and it's so melodious to hear them. I'm literally murdering these beautiful verses. I don't know how to recite them properly. Anyway, his countenance was distinguished by cheeks that enhanced the beauty of his alligator-shaped pendants, which was outshone lightning. His countenance was distinguished by cheeks that enhanced the beauty of his alligator-shaped pendants, which outshone lightning. So he's wearing a beauty of his alligator-shaped pendant. He has a pendant, which is in the shape of an alligator. And his cheeks are so beautiful. But this alligator shape, this should be the earrings. Kundal, Makara, alligator shaped kundala earrings. So these are earrings, alligator shaped pendants are his earrings. Then his nose was prominent and his head was covered with a gem-studded crown. So he's wearing a crown on his head. A charming necklace hung between his stout arms, and his neck was adorned with the gem known by the name Kaustuba. So the Kaustuba money, the Kaustuba jewel, only Lord Narayan has it. The other Vaikuntha Vasis don't have it. Although they have 4 arms, they also have a mukut, crown, jeweled crown, but they don't have the Kaustuba jewel, and they don't have the Srivatsa. Everything else they have. So from far cannot even see, can mistake them for the Lord. That's how kind he is. You want to look like me, you can look like me. You know, you want to be rich like me, you can be rich like me. You want to have same opulence? Sure, come, enjoy with me. That's what he's saying. Any comments or questions?
Shri Vaksha, you said?
Srivatsa. Srivatsa is the mark of Lakshmi Devi on Lord Narayan's chest.
Okay.
Yeah, Srivatsa. It's on Krishna's chest. Yeah. So, should we stop here for today?
Okay.
We'll start.
Even you find footprints, no? On Krishna's.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There is, I think, Bal Gopal, right?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Krishna's lotus feet, the footprints are there, 19. You know, there's lotus flower, conch shell, the umbrella, flag, thunderbolt, the elephant gourd, the cow hoof shoes, the moon, the half smiley moon, the fish. Yeah, yes. Krishna's lotus feet has these special auspicious markings. Yes, so true. Thank you.
No, but even on the chest of
the chest
of the Bal Gopal, you find the footprints of Krishna. I know many years back, remember there was one that, that you'll find the footprints on the thing. So everyone said, oh yeah, in our Krishna, in our Bal Gopal, there the image, the footprints on the chest. Only on baby Krishna, Bal Gopal.
Oh, only on baby Krishna, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because the big Krishna deities, we don't see that.
No, you don't see that.
Oh, okay, on Bal Gopal.
The
So
small
whose footprint is it? Whose footprint is it?
That's why it's his only.
His own footprint?
His own footprint.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It's on his chest. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, thank you. We are hearing such wonderful description of the Lord, and then people say he's not a person. So much beautiful description.
I know. All proof is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
You know, so much detailed description, how he looks, what he's wearing. He's wearing bracelets also on his wrist. He's wearing a girdle on his waist, flowers, and his smiling, his beautiful smile, his glance to the devotees, personal loving exchange. Amazing description. Amazing. So thank you so much for joining in today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.